Imagine standing at the crossroads of existence where the intricate dance between reality and the philosophical framing of truth unfolds. What does it mean to confront reality as it is, unvarnished, stripped of illusion? It means facing the often uncomfortable, sometimes terrifying, yet undeniably liberating force that underpins existence itself, truth. It beckons us not as a soft whisper, but as a clarion call demanding courage, responsibility, and the willingness to be transformed. Truth stands as the cornerstone of human existence, a principle so fundamental that it shapes the trajectory of individuals and entire societies. Without truth, we are adrift, disconnected from the very fabric of reality. To recognize truth is to align ourselves with the unchanging forces of nature, morality, and existence. It is not merely an abstract concept. Truth is the bedrock upon which we build lives of meaning and the foundation upon which civilizations rise or fall. At the individual level, truth is the measure of our relationship with reality. To live truthfully is to face the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. This requires the courage to accept discomfort, to endure hardship, and to confront our limitations. Yet, in this confrontation lies the seed of growth. When we embrace truth, we strip away the illusions and self-deceptions that blind us to our potential. A person who acknowledges the truth about their flaws, for instance, is better positioned to address them. Similarly, an individual who confronts the truth about their circumstances, no matter how difficult, is better equipped to act meaningfully within those constraints. Truth empowers, but it also demands accountability. It requires us to take responsibility for our lives, choices, and actions. On a societal scale, truth operates as the glue that binds communities, cultures, and nations. Societies that respect and uphold truth flourish, for they are rooted in stability and trust. Without truth, societal structures crumble under the weight of corruption, dishonesty, and chaos. History is replete with examples of civilizations that faltered when leaders and citizens alike abandoned truth for expediency or ideology. Conversely, societies that place truth at the forefront of their values cultivate resilience. They are better equipped to weather crises, adapt to change, and innovate in the face of adversity. Consider the role of truth in communication and trust. Relationships, whether personal, professional, or societal, depend on honest exchange. Lies, no matter how small, erode trust and fracture bonds. A society that normalizes deceit sacrifices its long-term stability for short-term gains. But a society that cherishes truth fosters cooperation, fairness, and justice. It becomes a place where individuals feel secure, not because they are shielded from reality, but because they are empowered to face it together. The relationship between truth and resilience is reciprocal. Truth strengthens us, and in turn, a commitment to truth enhances our ability to endure hardship. This resilience is not a shield from suffering, but a capacity to confront and transcend it. Truth provides a framework for interpreting setbacks and failures, transforming them into opportunities for learning and growth. In a world rife with uncertainty, truth anchors us, guiding our actions and decisions amidst the chaos. Ultimately, truth is not merely an ideal to be admired, it is a practice to be lived. To build resilience, whether as individuals or as societies, we must cultivate a relentless commitment to truth. This is not an easy path, but it is the most rewarding. For in truth we find clarity, strength, and the foundation for a life and a world worth striving for. To face reality is to confront the raw, unembellished truth of our existence. It means acknowledging both the beauty and the hardship that come with being alive. Reality doesn't cater to our desires, nor does it soften its blows for our comfort. It simply is. And in this simplicity lies its power. It is only through the courage to accept reality as it is, without distortion or avoidance, that we begin the profound journey of growth and transformation. Facing reality requires immense courage. This is not the bravery of external battles or grand gestures, but the quiet, unrelenting courage to confront the internal forces that shape us. It means confronting our fears, insecurities, and vulnerabilities head-on without the shield of denial or distraction. When faced with the uncomfortable truths about ourselves, our mistakes, our flaws, the parts of our personality that are difficult to accept, we often feel the pull of avoidance. It is far easier to bury our heads in the sand, to ignore the signs of deterioration in our lives, relationships, or even our health, than to confront them. Yet it is precisely in these moments of discomfort that the seed for growth is planted. The courage to face reality is the courage to stop running from the truth. Whether it's acknowledging the difficult state of our personal lives, accepting the weight of societal injustices, or recognizing our own role in the challenges we face, it takes courage to look at the world and our place in it with clear eyes. This process is not for the faint-hearted. It involves facing the unknown, taking ownership of our actions, and making decisions that may feel painful in the short term but are ultimately necessary for long-term growth. But courage alone is not enough. The willingness to face reality must be paired with a commitment to growth. Reality in all its forms presents us with constant opportunities to evolve. Growth is not a passive state, it is an active, ongoing process. It demands effort, persistence, and a mindset of continuous improvement. To face reality is not just to acknowledge the challenges before us, but to respond to them with intentionality and action. It is the commitment to learn from our mistakes, adapt to changing circumstances, and become better versions of ourselves. This commitment to growth often comes with discomfort. It challenges us to push beyond our limits, to question the beliefs and habits that have defined us, and to embrace uncertainty. Growth does not follow a straight line. It is often messy, unpredictable, and at times painful. Yet, in this process, we develop the resilience, wisdom, and strength needed to navigate an ever-changing world. Consider the example of someone seeking to improve their health. Facing the reality of poor physical condition is difficult, especially when it requires confronting years of unhealthy habits. It would be easier to deny the truth, to ignore the warning signs of fatigue or disease. But the person who chooses to face reality, who embraces the discomfort of change, is the one who ultimately achieves growth not just in body but in mind and spirit. The same principle applies to our emotional lives, our relationships, and our careers. Growth comes from the courage to face the hard truths and to act upon them. In a broader societal context, the courage to face reality is also essential for progress. Societies that refuse to confront the injustices or challenges they face remain stagnant. It takes collective courage to examine the uncomfortable truths of history, the inequalities embedded within systems, and the areas where society has faltered. Only through this collective honesty can we begin to make meaningful change, building a more just, equitable, and resilient world. Ultimately, facing reality is not just about survival, it is about thriving. It is about the courage to embrace life in all its complexity, to understand that growth comes not from avoiding difficulties, but from meeting them head-on with a willingness to change, evolve, and improve. In facing reality, we discover the strength we never knew we had, and we build the resilience needed to overcome the challenges that lie ahead. Philosophical frameworks are the lenses through which we view the world. They are the structures of thought that help us make sense of existence, morality, relationships, and the meaning of life itself. The way we understand reality, the choices we make, and how we navigate the complexities of human experience are all deeply influenced by the philosophical beliefs and systems we adopt, whether consciously or unconsciously. At the heart of any philosophical framework is the idea of interpretation. Philosophy provides a system of thought to interpret the world around us. It seeks to answer the most fundamental questions. Why are we here? What is the purpose of life? What is truth? What is the nature of good and evil? How should we live? These are not questions with simple answers. They require deep introspection, reflection, and an understanding of both the individual and the collective human experience. A philosophical framework offers the tools to approach these questions, framing them in a way that gives us direction and purpose. The framework we choose influences how we perceive ourselves in the world. For example, those who follow a materialistic framework may view life through the lens of cause and effect, seeing human experience as a series of reactions to environmental or biological stimuli. Those who subscribe to a religious or spiritual framework might interpret life's challenges as opportunities for personal growth or divine testing. Similarly, individuals who embrace existentialism might focus on the importance of individual freedom and personal responsibility, seeing life as an open-ended series of choices that define one's existence. Each philosophical framework carries its own set of assumptions, values, and conclusions, and it shapes not only how we think but how we behave. For instance, an individual with a utilitarian framework may make decisions based on the greatest good for the greatest number, while someone with a deontological framework may prioritize duty and moral principles over consequences. These differing perspectives can lead to entirely different actions and responses to the same situation. The significance of these frameworks extends beyond the individual level and affects entire societies. Philosophical beliefs underpin the ethical codes, laws, and social structures that shape civilizations. For example, a society grounded in the philosophy of individual rights, as seen in liberal democratic traditions, places a high value on personal freedom, autonomy, and equality. Conversely, societies that lean toward collectivist philosophies may prioritize the common good, social harmony, and the welfare of the group over individual liberty. Philosophical frameworks also provide the foundation for cultural identity. They guide the narratives and values that bind people together, offering a shared understanding of what is important, good, or just. When a society collectively subscribes to a particular set of philosophical principles, it fosters unity and coherence. But when a society's philosophical foundation is in conflict, or when individuals no longer share common beliefs, division and confusion can arise. The collective search for meaning, truth, and purpose can either bind us together or drive us apart, depending on the philosophical principles that govern our interactions. Moreover, philosophical frameworks are not static, they evolve over time, influenced by new ideas, experiences, and challenges. The great thinkers throughout history have shaped the ways in which we perceive the world, and their ideas continue to influence contemporary thought. From ancient Greek philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle to modern figures like Kant, Nietzsche, and Sartre, each has contributed to the development of ideas that help us understand our place in the world. As we face new challenges, social, political, technological, and environmental, our philosophical frameworks adapt, evolve, and grow. Ultimately, philosophical frameworks are essential for shaping our perception of the world and our place within it. They provide the foundation for how we understand reality, make decisions, and navigate the complexities of life. And whether we are aware of it or not, these frameworks guide us, and the choices we make in adopting or rejecting them shape not only our personal lives but the societies we inhabit. Philosophy is not just an academic discipline, it is a vital force that influences the very way we experience existence. Living in alignment with truth is not simply a matter of intellectual acknowledgement, but a way of being in the world, an embodiment of integrity, authenticity, and courage. When we align our lives with truth, we are not merely adhering to an abstract concept or a set of facts, we are shaping our very existence around principles that are grounded in reality. This alignment provides us with the foundation for meaning, purpose, and strength, both on an individual level and within the larger context of our societies. At its core, living truthfully means being honest with oneself. It involves recognizing and accepting who we truly are, our strengths, weaknesses, desires, and fears. This self-awareness is the starting point of any meaningful life. When we hide from the truth of who we are bound by the chains of self-deception, and we remain disconnected from the potential that lies within us. We may live a life that feels hollow or misguided, chasing external validations or false ideals, but we will never find lasting fulfillment unless we first face the truth of our own identity. Only when we stop running from ourselves can we begin to tap into the strength and resilience necessary for personal growth. Moreover, aligning with truth helps us cultivate purpose. Purpose does not arise from living according to someone else's expectations or from blindly following societal trends. It comes from within. To find purpose, we must first understand our values, passions, and the deeper motivations that drive us. When we live in accordance with truth, we become attuned to what is genuinely important to us, not what we have been conditioned to believe should matter. This self-alignment provides clarity about what we want to achieve in life and how we want to contribute to the world. It becomes a compass guiding our decisions and actions with direction and intention. Purpose is often described as the driving force that helps people endure difficult times. When we are connected to something greater than ourselves, whether it is a goal, a cause, or a set of values, we can withstand the storms of life. This is because truth grounds us, and in this grounding we find a deep sense of meaning. A person who lives in alignment with truth is able to see the larger picture, to understand that even in suffering there is a lesson or a purpose that contributes to their growth and understanding of life. They are not easily swayed by fleeting emotions or external circumstances. Instead, they remain steady because they have a solid foundation of truth to rely on. In addition to providing meaning and purpose, living truthfully also fosters strength. Strength in this context is not simply physical power, but the resilience and inner fortitude to face challenges, to persevere, and to stay true to one's values despite external pressure. When we live in alignment with truth, we cultivate the mental and emotional strength to endure adversity. Truth empowers us to take responsibility for our actions and choices, even when they lead to uncomfortable or difficult situations. A person who embraces the truth is not afraid to stand alone, to speak out, or to make tough decisions because they are anchored in what they know to be real and right. Living in alignment with truth also builds trust and integrity. When we act in accordance with our truth, others see us as reliable and authentic. This fosters healthy relationships, as trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful connection. Whether in personal relationships or professional settings, living truthfully earns respect and admiration from others, and this in turn strengthens our social bonds, providing us with support, community, and a sense of belonging. In a larger societal context, when individuals live in alignment with truth, they contribute to the collective strength of their communities. A society that values truth, both in its institutions and its individuals, is one that fosters transparency, justice, and accountability. Truth creates a foundation of trust, which enables collaboration and cooperation. When people in a society are committed to living truthfully, it creates a culture of integrity that strengthens the social fabric and ensures a more just, equitable, and resilient world. Ultimately, living in alignment with truth fosters meaning, purpose, and strength because it provides a clear path to self-understanding, personal fulfillment, and resilience in the face of adversity. When we stop deceiving ourselves and others, we become free to live authentically, to pursue our deepest desires, and to contribute to the greater good. Truth is not merely an abstract concept, it is the lifeblood of a life well lived. It is the foundation upon which we build our dreams, our relationships, and our legacy. In conclusion, living in alignment with truth is the cornerstone of a meaningful and purposeful life. It is through embracing reality, facing our limitations and challenges, and cultivating authenticity that we unlock our potential for growth and resilience. Philosophical frameworks shape how we perceive this truth, but it is our commitment to live in harmony with it that provides the strength to endure life's trials. When we align our actions, beliefs, and values with truth, we cultivate a deeper sense of self, purpose, and direction. Truth not only fosters personal growth, but also strengthens the bonds that hold society together, creating communities built on trust, integrity, and shared values. Ultimately, it is the pursuit of truth that leads to a life of freedom, fulfillment, and profound strength, offering a solid foundation upon which we can build our lives and shape the world around us.